where we get down to the beatdown right here on the Logan Summit Show. I am, of course, Logan Summit. Yes, your lovely host. And I promise you one thing and one thing only. I'm coming for that number one spot. Scheme, plot, just like Luda. I'm here to take over the whole world. And we're doing it one fight interview at a time. And we've got our last interview of the day. Last but not least, I don't know what number he chooses to wear on his jerseys when he plays basketball, if he does such things, but he'll definitely be number one in your hearts after this interview. Let's say hi to a pro boxer who has a illustrious career right now, 17-3-1. He's currently on a 2. Well, we'll talk to them in just a little bit about that before we get there. He is a bantamweight at 119 pounds. He's 5 feet tall, 4 inches galore right there, and is the 2023 WBC Silver and WBA Intercontinental Champion. His name is Jonathan Rodriguez. How you doing today, Jonathan?
I'm good. I'm doing good. How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing so good that I forgot to tell you that today's stream is brought to you by Newer. That's right. Go over to newer.com and get yourself what's in the box. Want to know what's in the box? Pro gear at amateur pricing. Use code Logan to save yourself 20% off all of that great content creating gear. Or if you just like taking pictures and whatnot, get on over there. They've got so much stuff. You will thank me in the morning. All right, my friend. Currently, you will be fighting on June 7th with Swift Promotions right here on Millions.co with The Future Is Now Series 2. Do you know who your opponent is going to be yet?
I know my opponent is a veteran of 65 fights.
Oh, boy.
Out of Colombia, I believe.
I wasn't able to find his name. So I'm glad that it's 65 fights, though. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Now, hey, you're not a junior here, though. You've got over 20 fights to your name. You've been around the block a few times. But when you first heard that 65 fights, did a bell or whistle go off in your head, or you just go, nah, he's a journeyman. I got this.
Nah, I mean, I don't really overlook my opponents. I wouldn't say he's a journeyman. You know, he has a lot of experience under his belt. And it's boxing. You can never underestimate nobody. And anything happen in that ring. But I know my skills. I know what I could do. I've been in there with world champions and sparring, helping them get ready for fights and stuff like that. So like I pretty much know what it takes to be at the top, as I was already at the top at one point. Now we're just working on redemption season right now. So I'm all for it. 65 fights, but I'm also good.
Yeah, you need this fight because you got to get back to your winning ways. You're currently on a 2 loss streak. One to Teshin Nasukawa. Hopefully I got that right. And Antonio Vargas. Now, there's a name that should be familiar for all of us boxing fans. And I assume you're a boxing fan if you're watching this right now. If you're not, well, we'll try to teach you some things, so stay put. But Antonio Vargas at 19-1-0, he's a household name for a lot of boxing fans. So that one, you know what? You can brush that off. But you got to get back to your winning ways. So what are you doing in this training camp that's different than the other training camps to help you get back to where you were 3 fights ago?
There's always something to fix. I feel as though we learn more from our losses than we do from our wins. So I went back and I rewatched the fights, and I'm looking at the stuff I was doing wrong just to work on those back in the gym. But as far as like doing anything different, training, like I said, just pretty much just working on what we did wrong because, at the end of the day, each and every time I go in the gym, I work hard.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of fighters and their camps try not to focus as much on the opponent as focusing on the inner self and correcting and bettering the things that you do. Obviously, you can't underestimate your opponents by any opportunity. But you have to be more willing to look at yourself and decide what you need to do better. Do you agree with that, or do you like? Does your camp like to look at the opponent and break them down really heavy for you?
Um, I do a little bit of both. I
Okay.
watch the opponent myself, and then my dad's my trainer, so I sit with my dad and I watch my opponents, and we see the stuff that he does good, the stuff that he does bad, and we pretty much just pick him apart before actually picking him apart in the fight. So
Well, you said your dad's your trainer, so I'm assuming your dad is the one that got you interested in boxing. At what age did you step into a gym at the first time?
at 12 years old was the
Okay.
first time I ever stepped into a gym.
Was it scary?
Not really, cause honestly like every fighter is always gonna tell you this, but as far as my experience, it really was what was going on. I used to get in trouble a lot for fighting, so I just looked at it as a way of let me get reward instead of getting in trouble for fighting.
Yeah, you know what? It's a lot better when somebody's going, "Yeah, you did a good job," as opposed to you get your butt down to detention, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm calling your parents, and you go down there. You're in school, suspension, all that nonsense. So it's good that you were able to turn a negative into a positive. And
Yeah.
and your dad being your coach, obviously, he's been in the game for a while. Do you remember sitting down with your dad and watching fights growing up? Was that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the fighters that I grew up watching alongside my dad, which is crazy because now I'm fighting under his undercard, was Danny Garcia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I used to watch him a lot, and then we used to watch a lot of Floyd when he used to box, Pacquiao and all them, the household names and stuff like that. So we used to watch fights and then just pick them apart and then just take a little bit from each and every fighter to make me who I am today.
Yeah, that's right. Puzzle pieces, right? To build
Yeah.
to put it all together. Did you have a favorite fighter growing up?
Um, I actually do. Um, it's a old school name. I'm pretty sure you know who it is. It's Finito Lopez, Ricardo.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who that is. Only because I'm old. Moisturize early and often, kids. Please do. All right, that's awesome. You know what? I love it when in music we call that a deep cut.
Yeah.
There's a few people at home going, yeah, I know that, and there's a lot of people going, Google. Oh, okay, I get it now. I get it now. Um, so you're going to be fighting at Series 2, part of Swift Promotions. Um, when you get there, what's the first thing you do when you walk into a building before a fight? Like, what's your pre-fight regiment when you get into the building?
Well, I pretty much like I don't like I don't know if every fighter is like that or is it just me. I like to be myself. I don't like to lock in too early because then I'll just have I'll stress myself out about the fight. I like to joke around a little bit, listen to music. Excuse me. But yeah, I
That's
like
okay.
to I like to keep the atmosphere like really good until I once the gloves come on. That's when this switch click on. I turn into my fighter self. I feel like I got two different personalities. It's me on the outside, and then it's me when it comes time to fight. So once them gloves come on, that's the switch click on right there.
Well, are you a Gemini by any chance?
Nah,
Okay,
Aquarius.
so we can't blame it on the astrological factor. So everybody who's at home going, oh, he's got two sides. No, settle down, okay? What music do you like to have on? You mentioned that you like to have music
Yeah.
on when you're getting ready. What kind of music do you play?
Crazy enough, I know a lot of fighters like to have like that hardcore rap and stuff like that. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, but I like to listen to Rod Wave a lot. It gets me going. He just talks about in his songs he talks about a lot about relatable stuff. Like the hardships of him growing up and stuff like that. I could relate to it, so it starts a little flame inside of me. So I just take that into the fight.
What was one of the hardships that you faced growing up? One of the obstacles that you needed to get over, whether that be in the ring or outside of the ring? It doesn't matter. Just give us a life lesson.
The one hardship that really like gets me going before my fights is how growing up I was in homeless shelters, and then I actually went into foster care, and I eventually became adopted by my dad, who's my coach right now. So he I met him at 12, and then we built this bond, like a coach and fighter type of bond, and then it got even deeper into like a father and son type of bond, and then he found out about everything that was going on, in my life and everything, and then he took action right away. We went into the foster care system, me and my brother, and then he brought us to the house, for like a week or two, just to get away from what was going on. And then he asked us, you guys, is this something you guys want to do? Stay here with me, my wife, and my son, because I have a brother, on
Right.
two brothers and a sister from their side, which I love them to death, like if they were actually my blood siblings. And we said yeah, and then they wasted no time, went to court, got custody, and then I've been here ever since.
Well, that's a really heartwarming story. I'm not going to
Yeah,
lie. That's awesome. I'm glad that you and your dad were able to find each other, and I'm also glad. I'm also glad that you mentioned that you created that coach student bond first before delving into the father son
yeah,
bond, and that's important because baby steps to success in
yeah,
everything in life. If you jump in with both feet, sometimes sometimes that just doesn't work out emotionally and mentally as well.
for
So
sure.
dude, what a great story for you. And now look at you. You're a pro boxer. You're going to be fighting. The Future is Now Series 2 for Swift Promotions on June 7th. You're 17-3-1, and you're a professional fighter now. Look
Yeah,
at how far you've come from 12 years
actually,
old and being in the foster care system to now
yeah.
being with your actual biological father and being a pro boxer. How does that make you feel when you look back on that?
It feels good. I mean, he wasn't like I'm with none of my biological parents, but one thing I did, like, because of what he did for me and my brother, without even talking to his wife, because he brought us in before talking to his wife. I actually, when I turned 18, I believe, yeah, I had turned 18. I went and talked to his friend who's a lawyer, and behind his back, I did all my paperwork and I did everything because I was already of age. And then after everything was done, I gave him the court papers. He was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "We got to go to court." He thought it was something bad, and then when he read the paper, it said that I officially changed my name from Jonathan Torres to Jonathan Rodriguez. I took over his last name, and that was something crazy for him because he wouldn't believe that I would do something like that for him
Yeah, we're
because of
having.
like
Oh, there you go. Yeah, sorry, you cut out that entire last part of that
uh
sentence, but you got your name changed from Torres
yeah,
to Rodriguez, and I'm sure I'm. Did he cry
a little bit. He
a
like
little
you can
bit?
see it in
Right?
his face, like he
Yeah,
was trying to be a little tough.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get to the gym. All right, we got. Hey, it's hot in here, right? It's hot. Yeah, we got to get to the gym. No, that's a great story. It's an inspirational story as well because fighting can take you absolutely anywhere, and look where it actually took you back to your family. Uh, I love that. Now, I've got to ask you, how long were you were born in Puerto Rico? How long were you there for?
I was born in Puerto Rico and I was there till like around 8 years old, and then I just came out here to the United States, and I've been here ever since.
Do you ever think about going back and training down there?
I have. I
You
actually,
have.
yeah. I don't know if you know Rene Santiago. He's the WBO world champion. I actually go over there and I spar him all the time. Every time I go out there, and I train alongside of him, and then his trainer Jonathan Lopez, I believe. I don't want to be wrong about his name, but his name is
Okay.
Jonathan.
You can't be held responsible to remember everybody's names.
Yeah,
Well, that's exciting stuff to be able to go back to your homeland and get it done. It's got to be better than being in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. I want to stay. I want to stay over there every time I go.
Yeah, but you know what? A nice quiet place like Bethlehem. You're not the first fighter I've interviewed this week out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So you know what? There must be some sort of a budding scene around there. Do you find it easy to find places to train and partners to train with?
Yeah. I believe the last one from Bethlehem you interviewed was Tandy Teasley. That's
Yes, I did.
yeah. That's me and him been friends since elementary school. No, middle school. Middle school. Since middle school,
Oh, that's great.
we was like 12, and then we trained in the same gym. Yeah. So
He was
it,
a great guy, and you know what? Much like yourself, good head in there, and I'm excited to see what they have, what the future holds for them as well. All right, so it's time for you to make a prediction. I need to know how it's going to end and when it's going to end. I mean, it's boxing, so chances are it's going to end with a knockout. There's not going to be a choke, but when do you think it's going to happen?
um honestly, I'm not the type of person to like making predictions, but
Okay.
with the way I'm feeling and the way I've been working, I'm gonna just say I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go the distance. But I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever.
Your cardio's ready. You're ready. You're going to throw punches and bunches upstairs, downstairs, and back upstairs once again and get it done. And hopefully, you'll be able to finish your opponent earlier than not because we
Absolutely.
hate it. We hate to leave it at the judge's hands, right?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, we don't get paid for overtime.
No, you don't get paid by the hour. That's for sure as well. And you know what? Anytime I've ever heard anybody talk about a loss that they're really upset about, it's not the ones that you get knocked out. It's the
Mhm.
freaking decisions that you lose in another fighter's hometown. Those are
Yeah,
the ones that grind fighters' gears. When you go to a fighter's hometown and it goes to the judge's decision and you lose,
yeah.
those are the ones that stay with you. When you put your head on the pillow at night, that's what you think of. Have you had any experiences like that?
Not really. Like I feel like the way I at least I look at my losses is more of like the experience around it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I got that experience, and even just my last fight against Tenshin Nasukawa, he's 33-0 and he's 44-0 and 30 something knockouts in kickboxing.
Wow.
He's Japan's biggest athlete, and I went to Japan and I fought in his hometown. I gained that experience. Like it's not every day you get to say you fought in Japan on ESPN and stuff like that
Right.
against the biggest Japanese athlete. You know what I mean? So it's like I just look at the opportunities, I look at the experiences, and just take it to the chin and keep moving forward. Ain't nothing else we could do. We can't reverse it. So we just got to go back to the drawing boards, fix what we did wrong, and just keep moving forward with that experience that you have already. So,
No losses, only learning opportunities.
absolutely.
That's how we do it down here. All right. Well, it's our time down here, and now it's your time because it's their time up there. This is your time. You can talk about anything you want. Talk about your sponsors, your gym, your parents, your favorite video game, sponsors that you want to have. I don't care what you talk about. You can talk about anything you like right here. This is your time, Jonathan. Take it away.
All right, so you want me to just talk about myself then?
You can talk about anything you want. This
All
is your time. You can promo your Instagram for all I care.
right, all right. So, like everybody knows, my name is Jonathan Rodriguez. I currently work at a school district. I work in the lunchroom. Giving back to the kids. Conversating with the kids and stuff like that. And because it's not all about me, it's all about the kids. If I could inspire another kid to do better than what he's already doing, then that's one thing right there. I'm a big believer in God. I work for the church as well. I put the stream. I try to get the word out there to the world, and sponsorships. I'm a pretty appreciative person. Like I don't look for big sponsors or anything. Any little thing I could get, it's amazing. It's just something added to my arsenal. you know. And like I said, I'm not the flashy type of person either, so it don't matter what it is. I like to always stay down to earth. And if anybody wants to follow me, my Instagram is Jonathan_JR_Rodriguez. And I just hope everybody's having a great day, and God bless everybody.
There you go. Yeah, I am having a great day, and thank you for asking. I appreciate that, Jonathan.
Of
All
course.
right, buddy. Well, let's get to it. It's the game show that all the kids are talking about on the playground and none of the adults are talking about around the water cooler. It's time for 5 questions. Yes, it's exactly what you've heard about, Jonathan. It's 5 questions. And it's your time to play. 5 questions is brought to you by Newhouse. If you need some home decor, some office decor, do you need a comfortable place to put your butt? Well, then you need to go over to newhouse.com. Use code Logan Radio Rocks to save yourself a little bit of that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Yeah, we could all use a little bit of that cashish in our back pocket, and I'm about to save it for you. If you need an office chair, you should not be sitting in a gaming chair. They're trash. They're third-party vendors. Don't do it to yourself. Go over to newhouse.com. Grab yourself an Ergo 3D. I got 2 of them right here, and trust me, they are good. I wouldn't be talking to you about it if I didn't believe in it. And yes, you can check out the links to both Newer and Newhouse in the About section of all of these platforms. All right, here we go. Jonathan Rodriguez will be fighting on the Future Is Now Series 2, June 7th with Swift Promotions. But now it's time for 5 questions. All right, in life or in the ring, what's been your biggest win?
In the ring, when I won the WBA Intercontinental. In life, when I met this amazing family that I'm with now.
Yeah, I kind of knew where that was going to go, but I
Yeah,
write these questions down before we get there, and it's still a great answer, by the way, because those 2 things are so very important. One for your professional career and one for your private life and your family life. And both of those have helped you in your career, like probably helped you as a person, but also helped you get your head straight to be able to fight because you've got the village and the family behind you pushing you, saying, hey, we love you. We know you can do it. All that stuff is so important to hear as a fighter, correct?
absolutely. Very important.
All right. Question number 2. Let's look inward right now. What's one thing, and I don't care if it's about boxing or about something about life in general, but what is one thing that you could improve upon?
Um, One thing that I could improve upon. I feel like, you know what? That's more of like an in life question for me. I could probably improve up on thinking less of myself and worrying about others. Like looking out for others. I already do, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like I gotta I gotta care more about others than just myself because the world doesn't evolve around me. So that's one of the major things that I think I could improve upon.
All right, that's a good answer. I like that. Now, I know I have friends who live in Bethlehem now, but they've moved out to Vegas because apparently there's nothing to do in Bethlehem. But there is a casino around there not too far.
Yeah.
So the question is, besides hanging out with your friends that are fighters that you went to middle school with, Mr. Teasley, what the heck is there to do in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, besides go to the gym and train?
There's the casino, like you said, and other than that, it's hard. It's really like I don't know. There's really nothing to do but to go to the park. Like you had to get out of Bethlehem, go to Allentown or something to find stuff to do. Well, there's also like down by my house. There's this one street called is Main Street, and they have like a whole bunch of restaurants and stuff. So if you like to eat, you could go there. And it's only I think it's in August they open Music Fest. That's about like the biggest thing there is. but that's only once out of the whole year. So
Somewhere there's some dude sitting there with a lawn chair and an umbrella just waiting for the music fest. I got to
yeah,
get the best seat. I got to get right there by the stage. I'm going to be first in line. Oh man, he's been waiting
yeah.
for it all year long. What's that music festival called by any
It's really it's just called Music Fest. It's they sell food, like you get to walk around. They bring different artists and stuff, and it's fun for until everybody starts fighting and stuff. But it's all fun for the for the time being. Like you go over there, there's people getting drunk, and then they start stuff, and then it's fun watching them. So yeah,
Too many of those Rolling Rocks, man.
yeah,
They,
absolutely.
they, they just get you down there. All right. Question number 4. What is the hardest part of training?
The hardest part about training, there's two of them. It's not even the training. It's not the sparring. It's the mental aspect of training and the weight cut.
Yeah.
That the weight cut, I consider that more of a fight than the actual fight. So
And a lot of
that's
fighters do. What do you walk
yeah.
around at?
I walk around like 135.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
nothing too crazy, but it only be like the last 2 pounds
Yeah.
that be the worst.
You're just sitting there spitting into a cup, but you're not dipping.
Yeah,
I remember, yo, man, I wrestled in high school at 125 and sometimes 135 because I always shot first. So they'd always bump me up weight classes. I'm like, but I'm ready to wrestle at 25. This dude outweighs me by 10 pounds. I'm like, just shoot first. You'll be fine, kid. Uh, but I understand weight cutting. I'll never forget the first time my dad came down into my room and I had the temperature completely cranked. It was all the way to like 100. And I'm sitting there wearing 3 pairs of sweatsuits and trash bags. And I'm running in a circle around my room with duct tape on my wrists and around there. So everything's staying in. And I'm just circling. And he just looks at me and goes, this sport is. And I was like, all right, Dad, thanks for the motivational speech. You can go now. So I totally get that. I think that's a big battle for every fighter, unless you're a
yeah,
heavyweight, and then you
yeah.
just get to eat whatever the heck you want.
It's a little bit easier now because I partnered up with for my last fight. I partnered up with this nutritionist, Sandy Sanchez.
Awesome.
I don't know, he does miracles. Like I'm telling you, like the weight cut couldn't have been easier. But even then, it still sucks because you get tired of eating the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be the worst thing. Like, how many times can you have brown rice, chicken, and broccoli?
Right.
You know, I mean, oh God. Oh, and do you want to put some seasoning on it? No, you can't season your food. God forbid your food has taste while you're training. Oh,
Yeah, I
all
remember
right.
I got tired of eating codfish. I
Uh-huh.
didn't like I got tired of eating fish. So I asked him like, "Yo, can I eat something different than fish, than coffee?" He goes, "Yeah, you can eat salmon." I'm like, "I don't want to eat fish." Like,
Yo, man, I don't want to eat cod anymore. What can I have? Oh, salmon's good.
like
Okay. I don't
I'm
want to eat
tired of
fish.
fish.
What can I have? Have you tried catfish? It's only got a little bit of fish in it.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
It's more cat than fish, trust me. All right. Question number 5. Now, originally I was going to ask you what music do you train with, but you've kind of answered that question. So I'll ask you this: as an old dude, what's a musical group or artist that I probably don't know about, but I should be paying attention to?
I'm probably just gonna tell you the same one that I like to train to, Rod Wave, because I didn't see videos of older people and even therapists, listening to him saying that his music is actual therapy for people. Like if you really sit there and listen to the lyrics, even if you're older than he is by a lot, by a little bit, you can still relate to some of the stuff that he says. Honestly, like that's probably like I'm telling you, you go listen to it and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right. I'll do my homework and you do your homework and go get that 18th win. I'll do my homework and listen to that artist, and then we'll reconvene back here before your next fight and we'll see where we all are. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, it's been nothing but a pleasure talking to you today. Jonathan Rodriguez! He will be fighting on June 7th, part of Swift Promotions. The Future Is Now Series 2. You can catch all the action right here on millions.co. And we've got another 3 interviews for you, Manana, because, of course, Friday is for fighters. So we will get down to the beatdown once again tomorrow. Make sure you check out the merch that just dropped. Oh, yeah. We've got 2 lines of merch. We've got the Logan Summit Show logo. And, of course, we've got my phrase. Everyone loves a good fight. And I've got a whole line of clothes around that. And I'm also going to drop another line around another phrase that we use here at the Logan Summit Show. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Nope. You'll have to wait and see. Just like you're going to have to wait till June 7th to see Jonathan Rodriguez show exactly why he is 17-3-1 as a pro boxer. All right, Jonathan, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me here.
Hey, not a problem. And I appreciate you for being here as well. Till I see you tomorrow. Be good to yourself and be kind to others. Pay it forward, play it forward. Rock like a party star, party like a rock star. Smile strong, laugh loud, and last but not least, please like, follow, and subscribe so you will know when I'll be back throwing down with everyone who throws their fists. And remember, Jonathan, everyone loves a good fight. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Jonathan, have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Like I said, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Not a problem, brother. Go get that win. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.